training is going to throw a new light and give you a new perspective on new member orientation. Why? Why? Because we are lucky to have a different kind of Toastmaster today as our trainer, who does not believe in traveling the road more often traveled. So instead of choosing to be DTM, he has chosen to be BTM, a beloved Toastmaster. Ladies and gentlemen, dear Toastmasters, dear distinguished Toastmasters, and a district leader, distinguished Toastmaster Rajesh. We have so many leaders here. Please acknowledge my thanks to all of you this morning. Very interestingly, I met our trainer today in one of Toastmasters meetings. So in Broadway, you have Broadway musicals, you have off-Broadway musicals. So even in Toastmasters, we have Toastmasters meetings, we have off Toastmasters meetings. So in one of those off Toastmasters meeting, I met him. And initially, he came across as very reserved person, and I was a little intimidated by him. Always admired his wife, and getting through to him was a little, there was a barrier. But then he started sitting in the meetings, and I realized he was one person whose head was full of ideas. He would give out an idea, he would make me work towards it. So one of those people who've given the most work in Toastmasters is our trainer this morning. There is the saying that we often read, some people discuss other people, some people discuss incidents, and the best amongst us discuss ideas. My dear Toastmasters, a couple of hours with him, one evening with him will fill your head with ideas and will inspire you to do much better. I present to you one of the best creators of ideas, an ideator amongst us, beloved Toastmaster, Philip Cherian. Philip, sir, please take center stage and take this forward.
Thank you. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Nalini. I think that was the very first time I'm being introduced in such a way. I never knew that I had so many ideas. Okay, I just convey my thoughts. Some of them might be good, some of them might not be good. But thank you for acknowledging my contribution in what you do. Good morning, Toastmasters, leaders, and our beloved distinguished Toastmaster Rajeshwar, district. I forget the titles suddenly. Well, good morning to all of you. Today we are here to look into the membership orientation. Now, I'm not here to tell you how to do the membership orientation. You are all leaders. You've done this plenty of times. I would like to engage you in how you do things because each of you, either you're an area director or a club leader, you might be having best practices, you might be having experiences. So take this as a forum where you express your thoughts and then we all learn from each other. Will that be good enough? Yeah. Now, to start off, let me tell you a little story. There's this person who goes to this religious place and his phone starts ringing. Right from the priest to everybody there stares at him. He feels naked and embarrassed. At the same time, he goes to a bar and there his phone rings, his glass falls down, but nobody stares at him or makes him uncomfortable. Even the bartender gives him a new set of glass and tells him, it is okay to break your glass. And the people sitting by say to him, son, that's okay, it happens. Have your next drink. Now, do you think he'll go to the religious place or he'll come back to the bar? Where do you think he will feel more comfortable?
Bar.
He'll come back to the bar. Come back to the bar. Okay, now I want you to understand your club is a similar place. You have your member, he'll come back to you if he feels that he has a sense of belonging in your club. He is valued in your club. He contributes to your club. But if he comes there and we start judging him and all that, he might not come back. So with that, little story. Let's get into business. Now, let me ask you, you're all leaders. You've been in Toastmasters for a while. What is Toastmasters? I mean, what is the organization called Toastmasters? Feel free to keep your mics on and tell me, what is Toastmasters? What is the organization called Toastmasters?
An educational program.
Educational program.
For myself, my perspective, it's like a place where, like, with friends, we are learning something.
Okay.
Being a
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, being a junior. Sorry, please go ahead.
No, you go ahead now.
Yeah. See, I take the privilege because I am a junior.
Yes, go ahead.
See, being a very new to Toastmasters, I feel this Toastmasters where we can confidently make mistakes, and there will be nobody will be challenging you that you have done this mistake, why you have done this mistake, and where everybody is encouraging you to mistake and make sure that the mistakes are corrected the next meeting or so on and so forth.
Can I ask all of you to keep your videos on so that I get to see you? Okay, Deepthi, after you,
now, after your explanation, I would say it gives me the feeling of going to the bar every time.
No. That was only a metaphor.
No, the same kick I get when I go to Toastmasters meeting.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to say.
Okay. Now, you all said things. But Toastmaster is a worldwide organization. So when you meet somebody, what you tell a prospective guest is, Toastmasters is an international organization. It's a non-profit organization. It has its headquarters in USA, Colorado. It has been there for almost 100 years. You don't have to say 97 years. You have to say it has been almost there for 100 years. It has helped to make a difference in millions of people, either to become a better communicator, better leader, better person. Now, this is the branding that you have to build. So everybody in your club, when they meet somebody, should tell the same story. You should not be telling it's like coming to a bar, you will get a kick. Toastmasters represents something, and we are the ambassadors of Toastmasters. And when we meet people, our idea of what is Toastmasters is, like, let's say you join Rotary. You feel privileged to become a member of Rotary, a Lions Club. Similarly, when you invite somebody, he should feel that it's a privilege to join Toastmasters. It's just not my Philcom Toastmasters, which attends in Crown Plaza. You are part of a larger organization, and you get access to attend meetings across the globe. So you have to make him feel that this is a privilege that he's getting, and that you become part of an international organization. And that's how we need to brand Toastmasters. So that is what I wanted to start with, saying we all should have a common thread when we tell our prospective people what does Toastmasters stand for. Okay, now that we have told what is the Toastmaster organization, what is it that we can offer them as a club? As a club, if I join your club, what if I'm your prospective member? If I ask you, okay, what's going to happen in the club? What would your answer be? Feel free to put your mic on and express yourself. What is it that the Toastmaster Club can offer a new member?
A safe place to practice public speaking.
Okay.
Get more leadership opportunities.
Okay.
Will give opportunity to develop the soft skills.
I'll park that. Next thing. Any more?
Manage time.
Sorry,
you get to manage time.
Manage time. Okay, who said soft skills?
Networking.
Networking. Who said soft skills?
Nushra.
Nasir's wife.
Okay, can you just elaborate what you meant by soft skills?
It is not only the public speaking. I feel like it is giving lot of soft skills like social skills and leadership skills.
Okay. I would stick to leadership and communication skills. The soft skills is something that as a member, I might develop, but Rajesh, you can correct me. As Toastmaster International, they help you become a better communicator, better leader. In the process, you might learn the skills of presentation, all that, you know. So if I invite somebody to a club, I will not mention, I'm not saying you're wrong. Forgive me, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I would, to be in the Toastmaster branding image, I'll tell them you will become a better communicator, you will become a better leader. Okay. Now, what you all said is right. So basically, if you join Toastmasters, you improve your public speaking skills, you build leadership skills. You have, now that's where the soft skill, your unlimited personal growth happens, because what is happening when you join Toastmasters, when you have to prepare a speech, which means you will do research. So by researching, you become more knowledgeable. You start networking with your club members and slowly outside your club, outside your district and all that. Now Rajesh must be networking even with people in USA. You start practicing writing speeches and delivering speeches. You also start unknowingly getting an advantage at your working place. I don't know if you have noticed, before joining Toastmasters, if I go for a meeting, I used to sit at the last row and never gave an opinion. Now, I have no problem in giving opinions. They ask me to shut up. So that is the impact of Toastmasters. And you build your self-confidence. So these are the basic things that we should tell a prospective member that you will be, you will get if you join a Toastmasters club. Okay, now I have convinced, not convinced, I have invited him to the, because I believe I'll never convince a member. I'll only invite him to come to my club. Now he comes to my club. What happens there? Let's say, Bindu, I come to your club as your guest. What happens when I come there?
You're greeted. You're greeted well. You are being introduced to others as well. All the other members. And during the meeting, the president will be speaking about Toastmasters International, as what you have said, what is it, what you get, all those would be introduced to him. And during the meeting, we'll be ensuring that he's taken well care of. Like, he understands each part, what is happening in a regular meeting and things like that.
Okay, thank you, Bindu. Nasik, what happens in your club?
So I was
that's fine.
Noting down.
Okay. Balkis, what happens if somebody comes to your club as a guest? I think Balkis is not there. Let me
come. Sir, I'm here.
Okay.
Can you repeat the question? No problem.
My question was, if I come to your club, I'm not a Toastmaster, you have invited me as a guest to your club. What is my experience when I come there?
We will welcome you. We will welcome you as you are coming to our home. We will try to give as a homely atmosphere. And we will invite you. We will give you all the necessary things, including if it is physical meeting, we will treat you with first the juice and or any refreshment. This what I was doing.
Okay. I get a feeling you're all telling me what should be done.
Yeah.
But
I have to explain what I have done.
No. What you said is right. But I'm telling in general to the leaders here, when I ask you this question, you are giving me the perfect answer. But is that what is happening in the clubs? Because what I see when I go to clubs is the guest actually comes even before a member comes to the club. Because we have sent him a flyer saying that meeting starts at 6:30, networking starts at 6:15. So the guy is so enthusiastic, he's there at 6:10. And then slowly our Sergeant at Arms walks in with the banner and his things and is slowly setting the place up. I'm talking of the days before the Zoom meeting. And it's very similar during the Zoom meeting also. So then he starts putting the banner. The poor guest is so bored and tells the sergeant at arms, can I help you? He says, okay, can you put the banner? Can you distribute the leaflets? All that. And so what happens? This is what I see when I go to the club. And after doing all that, the poor fellow is tired. He goes and sits in a corner. Now the president walks in, VP, they think that this is a recent member who has joined, and they don't even go say hello to him. Okay? Now, I think this is not the way it should happen. The way it should happen is the way you described. The moment he walks in, there should be 3-4 people saying, welcome to our club. Okay. Now, welcoming is one part. Second thing, somebody said, you will introduce them to your fellow members. Now, if Rajesh is there, I'll introduce him as a distinguished Toastmaster, district officer, and all that. The person will feel nice to be introduced to somebody up the hierarchy. I will also equally make sure that he's introduced to a new member, because there I make the new member also happy, showing that I have valued the new member who has joined the club, saying that this is a guest, this is a new member, he has just given us icebreaker, something say good about him, so that he also, the guest also feels that he's going to be treated like this in future. Now, this is what should be happening. Now, let's talk about the Zoom. Zoom also the same thing happens. Bindu Pillai as the host will be there, and suddenly somebody comes in and then feels like, am I in the wrong place? And then Bindu says, no, you're in the right place. You know, there's some issues. They are joining 2 minutes, 3 minutes, all that, and he's there. And then slowly people start popping up. Then I say hi to Deepthi. I totally ignore this guy who is a guest. And then we have, and he slowly puts off his video. This is what I have seen happening. And that should not be the way it is happening. So we have to ensure the guest comes in, he's treated well, and we also, the VP membership or whoever the VP membership has assigned, ensures he collects his information like email, contact details and all that. Even in a Zoom environment, rather than talking in a common forum, send him a private chat. Ask him, how did you get to know about our club? Are you a new member or are you a member of another club? Can I have your contact details so that I can invite you the next time? So these things happen. So he feels that, oh, this person is really serious. He wants to see me again. Correct? Now, during the meeting, you also mentioned that we'll ask them to introduce, give feedback. Sometimes if you go to Doha Toastmasters, they'll have 15 new members, new guests come. It may not be viable to ask all the 15 to give an introduction and feedback. It'll take. But make sure that you give him an opportunity at least one time in the meeting, either as an introduction or as a feedback, or ask him, would you like to take up table topics? And that is where the table topic master has to be there in advance, looking for the guest, going and asking them, we have something called table topics. Would you like to attempt it? Rather than surprising him during the meeting, let's invite him. The poor fellow is petrified. He doesn't know what to do. Correct? I wouldn't want to make a fool of myself in front of everybody. But if you go and ask me and tell me it's not difficult, it's just 2 minutes, give me a little bit of a introduction to what it is, I would look forward to speaking. Okay, if any of you have an opinion to say, feel free to step in and give your opinion. Then, towards the end of the meeting, we have to give him, after the meeting ends up, maybe the VP membership has to tell him, what is it that our club represents? Our club is a community club. Ours is a ladies only club. Maybe this is a corporate club. We have a theme. We wear formal dress. We wear casual dress. So tell him what the club represents so that he doesn't come and join a place where he wants to be in a casual environment where everybody is in jacket and very stiff like in the church. So you have to give him in advance what he can expect from the club. You also need to give him something to take back to understand what Toastmasters is about. Give him a Toastmaster magazine, website, things for him to go through. There are some clubs who have a welcome kit. The moment the guest comes in, they give it to him for him to go through it. So these are ways how you ensure the guest who has come into your club is valued, welcomed, and is able to take a decision whether to join the Toastmasters club or not. Is there anything else somebody would like to add on what should happen when a guest walks into the club? Rajesh.
Can I add this, sir?
Please, please.
It would be more nicer if one of the ex-com or the known Toastmasters sit with the guests and keep explaining them about the process of the meeting, whatever is going on. So that would also help.
That's a very good suggestion. I sometimes see when I go to Doha Toastmasters, Sunny Varghese will go and sit next to a new member. And they will tell Sunny Varghese a DTM, he is that, he is this, and the guest will feel really honored to be sitting next to Sunny Varghese. So if Rajesh comes to my club, and if I place him next to Rajesh, he'll feel that I'm sitting next to the district officer. So you need to find senior members in your club who will pay attention to the new person so that he feels he is more comfortable during the meeting. Good suggestion, and I think you have to do it. But chatting during the meeting, I would avoid that. Because sometimes sitting next to Sunny is difficult. He talks more than the speaker. Okay, now that the new member has joined, is somebody timing me? Okay, how much time do I have?
You have enough time, sir. You have another 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay,
yeah.
Good. Now, let's say the new member joins the club. What happens? Okay, leaders, feel free, shoot. What happens after the new member joins the club? Okay, Shabari Prasad. Or
Generally, what happens is...
No.
We will assign mentors.
No. Yeah,
sorry.
No. I don't want to hear from Rajesh now. I want to hear from the others. Okay, Balkis, go ahead.
Yeah, we will assign mentors for them. And pathways and enrollment, how to be done, we will learn them. And we encourage them to take the speeches, to complete the projects, and make a friendly atmosphere in the club with them. Normally, I am personally contacting each and every members to make a relationship like that.
Balkis, you sound like the election manifesto. We will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things.
What happened? Sound is not clear, sir?
No, I said Balkis.
Yeah.
What you said just now is like reading an election manifesto. You elect me.
No.
Okay,
I will switch on the camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, thank you for your...
yeah, thank you, sir. Because I was calling to father. That's why I just switch off the camera.
Okay.
Even before pathways enrollment, I think we will give them chances for like smaller roles, like our counter or listener, and give them the scripts, go through that.
Okay.
Yes, we also do the same thing. First, we just encourage them to take a smaller role, and then first
who's that?
This is Ritu from Aurora Toastmasters Club. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So we also do, first of all, we just assign the mentors and just enroll them in the pathways. And then we first, instead of taking up the speeches and all, first we just make them comfortable taking the small roles, so that they will get familiar with the more system and they get some confidence, and then we encourage them to go for the speeches.
Very good.
That's how we do in
our
club.
Now, Navneet or Shabri or Abdul Naveed or Tina, Fatima, feel free to express yourself. Because I have nothing much to say. I have to occupy the 30 minutes.
And just I have earlier, sir, what we used to do is...
who is this?
Nazik here.
Nasik, okay.
Earlier what we used to do is we call all the new members to Parker Mall food court.
Okay.
And we used to eat, and at the same time we used to introduce all the small roles as well as pathways. Maybe we take 1 hour, and in that one we just introduce each other and we become very close. Now we used to have a Zoom session for the new members about the small roles as well as pathway, and we walk them through the pathway and how to select and everything.
Very good. Now let me hear from Hilmi. Are you both from the same club, Nasik and Hilmi?
Yes.
Yes.
Then let me go to a different club.
Sir, Navneet, sorry.
Yes, Navneet, go ahead.
We are the corporate club actually. So first of all, the new members already want to, what is the Toastmaster? They will ask before attending the meeting. They will not simply attend the meeting. And somebody has explained the whole thing about how it is helps your professional and means if you are attending the meeting, how we will be integrated and what kind of pathways, what we have chosen. Everybody's explained before them. And at least they have some basic knowledge, or even though if they are attending the meeting, they have some knowledge about the Toastmaster, they are almost ready to join the member. Okay. Like the people will come and they will see, once they see the meeting and our people are greeting everything, we already have collected the details and everything, and it's easy to us to communicate them, and they will become a member.
Yeah, thank you, Navneet. Nalini, what do you do?
Sir, before Zoom meetings, we would, I would come early, and I would ask my other ExCom members also to come early in the meeting. And let's say the meeting would start at 7, we would invite them at 6 and talk to them. That time it was easier because directly from office they would come. And there was this promise of dinner, so they never, it was easier. But so we would meet them and we would talk to them and we would explain what is going to happen in the meeting. Okay. And then it would segue into the meeting, after a small...
Okay, now let me ask the master, Distinguished Toastmaster Rajesh, what is it that you would do?
This is exactly what I should do. I don't think anything I can add to it. But okay. Your question is, what should happen?
Yes.
What should happen is, all these things should happen. What these people told. There is nothing extra can be added. Okay. But what happens is the question now.
No, I'll come to that. What happens? Again, I was telling, we all know what should happen. So we have been taught this 1, 2, 3 things should know. We are all aware of it. So that's the reason I'm saying I'm not here to lecture to you. You know what it is, but I'm here only to remind you. Okay. Now, did anybody talk to me about induction? Okay. So the number one thing is you induct the member. You give him the gavel and tell him you're a member of our club, and all the other members welcome him into the club. Before, there used to be a practice. That is, once his name is put forward during the business session, the guest is asked to leave the meeting. And then the members, we normally don't ask, but if any member has a problem in that person becoming a member, he can express himself. And after that, we call him back after a minute and we clap and tell him, now you are a member of the club. Now the induction, you might not do it for each person, but you might do it when 2 or 3 people join the club. You do it as a program. We should not miss the induction, because holding that gavel in front of the fellow club members and saying that I've joined a member is a commitment. Second, who registers him in the Toastmaster International? He joined the club, he paid you the fees. When did you register him? You have to do it as soon as possible, because he has to get the benefits of a Toastmasters immediately. I have joined Philcom. That's right, I joined Philcom. But if my treasurer doesn't register me immediately, I'm still not a member of the Toastmaster International. So you have to ensure that the person is registered. Registration might be happening because you need your DCP points. But you don't register him for his DCP points, you register him to recognize him as a member of a worldwide organization. All of you said you assign mentors. Now, when you assign mentors, we assign a mentor, but sometimes the mentor and the mentee never meets. During the induction, we will say Philip is the mentor for Deepthi. Philip is in his own world, Deepthi is lost, nothing happens. So that has to be done more seriously, assigning a mentor. Now, somebody told about going to Parco Mall. It's a very good suggestion. Actually, there are many other clubs who do this. They have an informal meeting whereas the VP Education, VP Membership, a few of the ExCom members, they get together and explain to them what is the Pathways program, how do you register, how do you get a username, how do you choose your path, and all those things. And then also introduce them to the mentors. Actually, it's a good idea to introduce them physically or online to their mentor, to know that Philip Cherian looks like this, so that even if he doesn't see you, if you see him in a crowd, you can call him and say, you are my mentor. So this way you build the relationship between people. Now, do you think the mentor should be the best member of the club? I mean, should he be a champion speaker? Should he be a great leader or something? A mentor should have the time for his mentee. Because when the mentor calls, mentee calls him, he should have the time to listen to him, give him suggestions and all that. So I found in some clubs, you assign so many members to one mentor because he's a champion speaker. The mentor cannot handle it. I don't think you can handle more than 2 or 3 or people, because you have your work, your office, all these things. Now, they also explained here that you will explain to them what are all the roles that you take during a Toastmaster meeting. Perfect. But is that what is happening? You come for the meeting, timer doesn't turn up. You'll say, you new member, come here, sit. Handle the timing. It's very easy. You can do it. Or you will give him become a listener. It's very simple. You just listen during the speeches, write down something, and at the end, ask questions. Other than grammarian, you will try to give him all the other roles impromptu. And this person doesn't say no to say no, and he'll take it up. But do you think that's a comfortable situation to make him go through? And then the general evaluator will come and say, no, you did not do 1, 2, 3 things. You are embarrassing him. So rather, do the sessions that you all said, taking him through the roles. Why are you doing it? Why are you doing the role of the accounter? To become a better listener. Why are you doing the role of the timer? And how that slowly translates into your life, in your office, and in your daily life. So take time for it so that the person is very clear of the role that he takes. How many of us really try to understand what is the goals? Does he have a short-term goal? Does he have a long-term goal? Alarmir, Division Director, you were one of the best VP Education. So let me ask you the question.
Yeah, thanks for that compliment.
I tell you, she's the best because she was the member, she was the VP Education of an advanced club. It's very difficult to manage the advanced club members. So she was the VP Education. So tell me.
Yes, sir. Thanks for that compliment. Of course, as VP Education and as an ExCom member, I believe in the interest of the member. That is the reason why, if you even remember, first I took the members interest survey. That gave me a fair picture of what kind of members I'm having, what are their priorities, so that I can accommodate accordingly, sir. So that is one of the way in understanding the interest of the members and motivating wherever it is required, sir.
Okay, now here I will think of a famous, it's a WhatsApp flyer that came in. It's about a teacher asking, and the students they have a penguin, they have a tiger, they have a monkey, and they have a fish. And he's telling, climb the tree. So you have to understand, people are differently, they have different interests, they have different capabilities. So you can't expect everybody to do the same thing at the same amount of time. So you have to know, because I always listen about one of the VP Educations who told me there was one person who joined the club because he found it very difficult to do presentations. So he only wanted to do presentation. And he always wanted to speak during the table topics just to get the fear of speaking in front of 20 people. And he never attempted prepared speeches. He was in the club for almost a year. He mastered the skill of impromptu speech and he left. Do you think the club lost somebody when he left? Okay, let me ask you. Do you think he'll be a good ambassador of Toastmasters after he left the club?
Yes.
He's going to say good things about your club, saying that this club helped me overcome a skill that I didn't have, overcome a fear that I had. I'm a better speaker now. Now, if you had forced him to give his prepared speeches, no, you have to do your prepared speeches. You have to get your DTM. You have to give us your level 1 and level 2. He would have left after the 3rd meeting. So you have to understand what is the needs of your thing. Maybe there's some person who comes because he likes to be in the company of positive people. He likes to listen to speeches. So don't push those people. But there might be good people to give you feedback. They'll be good evaluators and all that. So understand the needs of each member and do that. But at the same time, as a VP Education, you have a responsibility to encourage and nudge them into doing projects. So that is a responsibility, but don't treat them all as the same. So from the discussion that we had now, I understand that you all know what should be done when a new member joins. There were some good suggestions of people having offline meetings, meeting personally with these people, taking them through the project, because navigating the website and going through pathways is, even for a person who is technically good, might be challenging. So it's always good if the ExCom can take them through that. Now, the person has joined your club. What can he look forward to? Like when you join an organization, let's say you join an organization at a certain position, correct? You would want to know, okay, I joined this organization here. What is my future? Correct? Or maybe I know I'm here only for 3 years. I need to add this into my CV and then I jump into my next position. Or I leave the country, something. So everybody has a purpose when he joins. So when he joins the club, he also would want to know what is it that this Toastmasters can offer me beyond the club. So what is it that you think that it is waiting for them that they can aspire to be?
ExCom member, sir?
Any member. There's nothing called an ExCom member. A member is a member.
No, the member might aspire to be an ExCom member.
ExCom member, correct. What else? Deepthi, you are a very aspiring person. Tell me, when you joined Toastmasters, what is it that you were looking for, and what is it that you wanted beyond your club?
I joined Toastmaster just keeping public speaking in mind. I never wanted to take this leadership role at all. But then this DTM was something I found, okay, I should have this. And for that, I came to know that I have to take a leap into this leadership thing. So yeah, that's how I am here. But the public speaking was the only criteria in my mind when I joined Toastmaster.
Okay, let me ask Shabri. Shabri has been very quiet. Shabri, are you there, or Shamir? You are now positive, so you can talk. Okay, there is a Pratnia, Kamil Arif, Lomalin.
Yeah, good morning.
Who is that?
Kamil.
Kamil. When you joined Toastmasters, what is it that you looked beyond your club?
Actually, in my case, 1 minute. There's an echo.
That is re-emphasizing what you
said. Two things actually. I want to improve my public speaking skill. Second, I want to make a network of people who are in Qatar. Mainly because I was that time chairman of Sri Lankan Engineering Chapter Qatar. Okay. So I want to make a network. I have done it. I want to go further. That's what I'm still with the club last 4 years.
Okay. Okay, Hilmi, tell me what you look for when you joined the club. What is it? You joined your club. What was your aspiration?
Honestly, I joined the club just for 3 months. Just to stay in the club for 3 months to learn some bits and pieces of public speaking. But then after, that was the time I think there was these speechcraft sessions were going on in the club, and it really interested me and kept me going. And now I am here. It's more than 2 years now.
Okay. When Hilmi said me this, when I came in 1990, because somebody said I have been in 1990, there was an insurance agent who came to me to take a policy. I said, I will leave in the 2 years, so I don't want an insurance policy. I still see him today, and he tells me, and he told me on that day, you'll never leave. I still see the man, he reminds me, you remind me what you told me in 90? So that's what happens in life. Okay, who else can I ask? Ritu. Okay, let me ask Rajesh.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, yes, go ahead, Ritu. What is it that you looked when you joined your club? What is it that you aspired for?
Honestly speaking, my friend she forcefully took me to Toastmasters meeting. And when I went there, I met people who really I want to meet them, because I'm not a kitty party stuff. So I just wanted to go there where I can, talk to some sensible things and I can listen something. So for that reason, I joined this Toastmasters. It's not that I'm interested in public speaking, or it's not like that I just want to go for the leadership roles. But yes, I just want to improve myself, what I was previously and what I am right now. So
okay.
That was my agenda.
Okay, thank you, Ritu. Now, Rajesh.
Yes, sir.
Let me hear from you, because you are somebody who has made a big difference. So tell me, what is it that you aspired when you joined Toastmasters?
As told it many times, I joined Toastmasters because of communication and leadership skills. I joined Toastmasters to have a cup of coffee and refreshment in a 5-star hotel, which offers you for 6 months at the rate of 500 riyals, which nowhere you can get. I was not privileged enough to go in a 5-star hotel and have a cup of coffee at that point of time. And in that process, I realized that in Toastmasters, there is an opportunity. If you engage this program, you can have a cup of coffee in 5-star hotel always. That made me to concentrate on Toastmasters. And then I thought, what should be that, which I'm a lazy person and I declare things in front of people, because then people start following me. Rajesh, you're doing it or not? And I thought, let me try it for DTM, to be the DTM. And that is how I jumped up into an area director without even being a president, without being a VP education. And to become an area director, you don't have to be any of these things.
No, I'll stop you there. I don't want those people to listen to that.
So that is how I jumped into become a DTM. And later on, I realized that engaging with this program itself will make a big difference in your life. And that is how I've been engaged with this program so well. Now I realize that without any focus and without any goals in Toastmasters, hopefully this program will not be much beneficial. It's just kills your time. So getting engaged well with this program with some goals and plans can give us the best benefit out of it. I believe that I'm a person who took maximum benefit of the Toastmasters membership.
Thank you, Rajesh. Now, I think once the Toastmaster, a new member joins the club, you've taken through the induction, welcoming him into the club. He starts giving us projects and all. Slowly, you have to give him the carrot that you have something more to gain in Toastmasters. You know, it's not just about being a club member.
Toastmaster Philip, I think Toastmaster Raju wants to say something.
Oh, please.
He raised his hand for
something. Sorry.
Thank you. I came to know Toastmasters, when I reached Qatar in 2008, I was with UA Exchange. So basically UA Exchange, they used to sponsor a lot of Toastmasters events. So I saw a lot of youngsters, a lot of kids and many professionals, they started speaking, and I just want to join Toastmasters to feel this, what is this ghost all about? What is this? Everybody is telling Toastmasters are performing well. So I just want to feel that emotions, that enthusiasm, everything. And being, as I said before, I am a very junior here. We started Gulf Exchange Toastmasters last month, and it is going well. We had 2-3 meetings already done. And now beyond what is this all about means I saw a lot of, seniors like Toastmasters, DTM Rajesh, and how he is elevating himself into a different level, how he is welcomed and respected and recognized in different forum. So my next will be to, why can't we reach to that level? So that is what for me beyond this existing Toastmaster.
Very good. Very good.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Very good, Toastmaster Raju. So I think just like how Raju expressed himself, your new member should also understand there is something beyond your club. There's something waiting for you. Just by becoming a member of a club, there's a lot that Toastmasters can offer you. Now, if you take the communication path from the contest, from your club winner, you can go all the way to become the world champion of public speaking. So that is the level at which, if you aspire to be, you can go to. Now, after becoming the world champion or after taking a DTM, what more to do? You can become an accredited speaker. An accredited speaker is not awarded to everybody. During the World Championship, there are some 10 or 12 people who go and do a presentation in front of some experts. And from there, they choose a few who will be given the accredited certification. An accredited certification helps you to become a motivational speaker, trainer, and all that. So these are the things on your communication track you can aspire to be. You can aspire to become a distinguished Toastmaster. On the communication, you can become a contest winner right from your club all the way to the World Championship. You can become an accredited speaker. Now on leadership, you can start from Sergeant at Arms all the way to become the Toastmaster International President. Okay. So if you ask me, do you think it will take long years? If you ask Rajesh, he says no. In 10 years, if you really want, you can become the Toastmaster International President. So it is possible. It all depends on how much he aspires for. So joining Toastmasters for a new member, his limits are endless, and he can go all the way up. Now, if you look at leadership, he can move from the club to the area, to the district, to the region, and then all the way to the international thing. So this is what is there waiting for him beyond the Toastmaster Club. Also, he gets opportunities. How many of you encourage your club members to go outside the club to other clubs and give speeches? Because maybe he gets comfortable speaking in your club. Do you encourage them to go and speak outside? Or do you think that he'll go to the other club?
We never had that fear.
We never had that fear. So you should allow, encourage, give opportunity for those people after you find that he's doing well, to give him opportunity to go outside and speak. Now, after all this, what do you expect this new member to do? Yeah, leaders.
Improve himself.
Okay. No, that he has done. What do you expect him to do for the club?
Become ExCom member, sir. That is like...
Okay, become ExCom member. That we went through the leadership.
Attend meetings regularly, sir. That's a primary
requirement. I'll come to that. What I wanted to hear is he has to bring new members. Correct. He joined as a new member. He goes through very good experience. He feels that I should give my whatever benefit that I received, I should allow other people to receive this benefit, and he should feel empowered to bring new guests. So it goes in that circle. It's like this famous, you start with, I don't know, because maybe this person didn't know there was Toastmasters. Then he joins a club. Then he knows, I know there is Toastmasters club. Then he starts getting comfortable in your club. He forgets that he knows Toastmasters. He starts giving speeches. He takes leadership skills. Then he comes to a place where he's on, he's free. He becomes like Rajesh, enlightened. But now Rajesh has to go to the next step. He has to again come back to, I don't know, because there are more things for him to learn. So this new member also, he becomes from I don't know to I don't know. He becomes a member of the club. He learns leadership, this thing. Then it becomes part of his life. Then he gets across a new challenge, and it goes on and on and on. So that's how you get new members. Now, to get new members, what do you need? You need happy, satisfied, aspiring members. The ExCom, how much ever you try, if you want your members to come, new members to come, it is your members who have to bring in. So, do you really think it's difficult to get members? Because you all said we do 1, 2, 3 things. If you're doing all this, then you should be getting your members. So, go back to your drawing board. There is something missing. Either you're getting your guests, but you're not converting them. Or you're converting them, but their experience is not good. An unhappy member will result in negative news outside. Happy members bring in more members. I can see the red light. So, Nalini, can you just show that final slide that I had asked you to?
Yes, sir.
Just to recap, whatever I said is not what I discovered. It is all there in the website. So if you go to the Toastmaster site, under membership, If you want to know more in details, because I happen to say a few things, this is a slide which says, if a new member comes in, he wants to know what is Toastmasters, it gives you the answer. What can I expect in a meeting? These are the testimonials of members who have joined the Toastmasters. How can I start learning? What is it in for me? This is very important for each member. When he joins, he should know what is it in it for him. What does the club experience offer? How do I learn and grow? And am I ready to join? What now? So take this, go to that site and go, and you'll get more details. Can I see the next one? This is what your club should be offering. It should be offering access to a mentor, ability to resume club meeting rules, speeches, feedback, club leadership, interactive sessions. I want to leave you all with the Toastmaster promise if you have forgotten. Okay, just remove the slide. Okay, can I hear from you? What is the Toastmaster promise that you made?
To attend the meetings regularly.
Okay.
Help others.
Bring more members.
Bring more members.
Attend.
Take up the meeting goals and give projects.
Give projects.
Prepare well for your projects.
Prepare. Yeah, you have to take an effort to deliver your project.
And whatever we are learning from here, we are just giving back to the society.
That's something that we have to do. I don't think that's part of the promise.
No, it is not.
Provide constructive feedback to your fellow members.
Yeah, that is there. Constructive feedback is there. Okay. I think you have given the top 4. So now, Nalini, can I see the promise? It's always good to reiterate this promise, because to remind that I have joined Toastmasters and this is my responsibility, whether I'm a member or a Toastmaster International President. This is a promise that I have to keep to. That is, the first thing is to attend the club meetings regularly. Now, what happens is I take up, Shiva comes and tells me, can you join Talking Matters? I go join Talking Matters. Nalini comes and says, can you join ICC? I go join ICC. And when they call me for the meeting, I say, I have no time. Then why did I join? So make sure when you become a member that you attend the club meetings regularly. Prepare for the projects. I think you can all read it, self-explanatory. But the most important, the promise that you make is to attend the club meetings regularly, respect your fellow members, give projects when the VP Education is asking you to give projects, and all that, and you become a very good member. You can close the presentation. So this is what I wanted to share with you about membership orientation. Actually, there's a different slide for membership orientation, which I didn't take you through. That's very self-explanatory. When you sit with your new members, you can actually do it. It talks about the meeting rules in details. It talks about the pathways they can choose. It talks about the ribbons that you can earn, the accolades that you can earn. What are the various leadership positions that it's a very detailed presentation. So Nalini will email it to each of you. Correct, Nalini?
Yes, sir. Mangai ma'am will email it. I'm just putting it in chat box also.
Yeah. So you can use this, go through it and use this when you interact with your new member to tell them what is it that Toastmasters can offer you. So I leave you with this thought, getting a membership, once a new member comes in, I always feel the most important thing is I feel that I belong to this club. I don't need, a club does not need a champion speaker or a Toastmaster International President to be a member of your club to become the club that I should be. If that club makes me feel that I belong to the club, makes me feel that I contribute to the club, makes the fellow members, makes me feel that they value me, that is enough for me to go back to the club, because the club is like a home. So I leave you with this thought, respect your, not respect, make sure that each of your new member that you get goes through this experience, who then further will bring you more members. Thank you. Back to TLI Chair, Toastmaster, DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster Nalini Mathur.
Thank you very much, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, now do you know why we dragged him so early on a Friday morning? Please, with a huge round of applause, register your thanks to our beloved Toastmaster, Philip Cherian sir, for spending his morning with us and sharing his insights. And as I promised earlier, he does have a perspective that is quite unique. For instance, the way he talked about what is it that we are doing and what is it that we should do. Now, when you read a management book, you will read it as a gap analysis. But that is exactly what he has done. Not only that, he has equipped us with tools to bridge that gap. There are a lot of lessons I learned also because it is a division training and we have only 18 participants. So obviously, there is something that we are not doing right to get more members to participate in the training. So thank you, Philip sir. What you've shared today has hit closer to home than ever before. Thank you very, very much.
I think there's a Q&A session. So
yes, yeah. So if anybody has any questions, this was a very interactive session, but I just want to ask if anyone has any questions, please, if you could. I think Toastmaster Kamal has raised their hand. Toastmaster Kamal, please take it away.
Yes, good morning once again.
Good morning.
I have one question. These promises doesn't include the members to help to retain the existing members, because I heard one of the speeches about 8%, about some percentage, 8 members annually leaving the club. So I think this Toastmaster promises should include members to help to retain the members.
Very good question, Toastmaster Kamal. I believe if you follow those 10 promises, it automatically reinforces the belief that the other members have joined for and will not be a reason for leaving the club. Now, in this part of the world, people do leave because we are all expatriates here. We might leave the country and all that. But if you feel that somebody is leaving your club because of 1, 2, 3 things, I believe if all of us stuck to the promise, we would make our club a very good place for members to be in. But okay, there might be reasons people leave, because maybe I joined the club and I find coming on Saturdays nowadays difficult. Maybe there's some other club who is offering me on Wednesdays, or maybe I have a financial issue. I'm not able to pay the dues on time. There are several reasons why people leave. But if people leave because of we not giving them a good experience, what we promised them, that we will help you grow in your educational, in your leadership and communication skills, then that is something that we have to look into. Did I answer you, Toastmaster Kamil?
Yes, correct. Thank you.
Any other questions, please? You can put it on chat also if you're unable to turn on your audio.
See, this people leaving is very common. There are a lot of reasons they leave. But maybe if you know that they are leaving because of some things that are happening in the club, as an ex-com, we have to meet and decide why is it that, what is happening. Now, you cannot, just because one person is not able to come to the meetings because it is happening on Saturdays, we can't do any changes, because I've got other members who are there. So you have to sacrifice that member. But it's always good to understand, why did he leave? Okay, let me ask you the other way. When members don't come to the club, is there anybody calling and asking, why are you club? Because nobody comes and says, I'm leaving. They just disappear. Because there's no final settlement or something to receive. So they don't come and officially declare, from today onwards, decide not to come to your club. He just disappears. But when he disappears, are the leaders taking an effort to find out why he is disappearing? And that will give the answers to your questions. Rajesh, you want to say something?
Nothing, sir, nothing.
Okay.
One point here is members go out of the club. There is nothing wrong in it. There are certain members who come to achieve certain goals. Once they achieve that goal, they will go. And this is an educational program. We cannot think that a member stays here for all the time, for 100 years, Toastmaster exists. People come, they will learn, they will go. That's a program. That's it. That is why they say that you should do that Smedley Awards, all these marketing activities to increase your membership. That is why Toastmasters say there is a Smedley Award, Talk Up Toastmasters Award, Beat the Clock.
Rajesh, don't use this for your awards. Okay, actually, Rajesh touched on a very important point, which I forgot to mention. When a new member joins, you have to tell them that this is a self-paced program. He's not going to sit in a classroom and he's not going to expect the club to teach him something. It's a place where the club gives a very friendly environment for the person to come and try to give his speeches and learn from other people and all that. So it's not there's no instructor to teach him what to do. It's a self-paced program and it's a long-term program. You could go to a certain training for $3,000 and learn the art of voice modulation, but that's it. After that, you don't have any practice. But if you join Toastmasters, every meeting you see somebody talking about it, you can have educational modules, and over a long period of time, you slowly start learning. So it's very important to tell him that it's a self-paced program where there's no instructors. We learn from each other and from whatever is mentioned in the manual.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Anyone else has any question? Again, if you're unable to speak out, maybe you could put it on chat.
Actually, they joined Toastmasters to speak out.
But maybe audio. That is true, yeah. I think the whole session was quite interactive. So there were questions that popped up. In fact, you asked more questions, I think, to us.
Hi, Nalini.
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt. Hi, good morning, Nalini and fellow Toastmasters. This is Tina here from Malaysian Toastmasters. Nice to meet all of you. And hi, Philip, sir.
Hi.
It's very, very great introduction to the new members. This morning is very insightful. I have a question. So we have few members join our club this term, which is very great. And I would like to conduct the induction session. So normally, who does the induction? Is it someone from the club, or we can invite somebody who has experience with it? Because I'm going to be...
It's from the club. Your VP membership. Okay, maybe Alarmil, as a division director, you can answer that question.
Yes, thanks for that question, Toastmaster Tina. Since yours is a new club, no induction have been done so far. If at all you need some sort of guidance in how to do it, we can support you with the guidelines as to how to do the induction. Normally, it is done by the VP membership or VP education. Either one of them do. VP membership has to do it ideally. So that's the normal procedure. We will give you the guidelines how to do it in the chat box. Also, I'll put it, and I'll send you the email in detail how to do the process. Okay. And you may visit one of the clubs when there is an induction program going on. It will be quite interesting in physical. Of course, in virtual also, we can make it more interesting way.
Right. So we are on our 62 meeting now. We've been since 2018. And we did have many XCOMs reps before and current. So I did my induction from the previous XCOM and leaderships. And of course, we have our Honorable Sabari Prasad here guiding us all the way, holding our hands in our club. Has been really great help. But the induction session, that is the big piece that we are missing as a VPE myself. Just like to have the training materials. Thanks if you can send it over. And then, so we can do it for the next session. That way they feel valuable and they feel that they have some commitment in the club.
It is in the club leadership manual. I'll share it, Tina, definitely. So
that
gives a lot of feel-good factor for the members. You should start up with this practice. In fact, we were in the beginning thinking of myself and Nalini doing a division induction program, if it could be possible. But then we decided to go with the clubs, as it's the privity and the privilege of the club. So the clubs have to do it, and the VP membership is the right person to do that.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, thanks a lot for the help.
I just want to add, when the division director Alarmail mentioned about the club leadership, each of you as a leader would have received that. See, Toastmasters is an organization where it lays down everything clearly. We just need to read it. But what I have found is we are too lazy to read it. So I sometimes get called from people thinking, since I've been in Toastmasters for so many years, Philip has the answer. Now, when I get it, I don't tell them I don't know. I call up Shyam, and Shyam gives me the answer, and I give the answer back to them. But here also, let me tell you a story. See, what happened is there was this young priest from Kerala. He got inducted into priesthood, and they send him to Rome. So he goes to Rome and he meets the Pope. Pope says, oh, very good, you're the young, very good, congratulations. But I would advise you to take the manual from the librarian. There's a manual on how a priest should conduct himself. So he goes very excited. He goes to the librarian, and the librarian is an 85, 90-year-old man. He says, I want the manual. So he goes down to the cellar and comes down and drops a big set of photocopies on the table and tells the young priest, this is your manual. Now, when we conduct speechcraft and all that, sometimes when we give photocopies, the children or the member will say, can I have the original? You know, because they are paid for it. So they'll say, can I have the original manual? So this priest also said, this is a photocopy, can I have the original? So that 95-year-old man got very angry. He said, okay, I'll get it for you. And he goes all the way down. Now, for people who remember, before the age of WhatsApp and all that, there was something called as a photocopy machine. Before the photocopy, there was something called as a cyclostyle machine. Now, this is the age of cyclostyle. So after half an hour, 1 hour, the old priest doesn't come. So this young priest goes down into the cellar and he finds this old 95-year-old man crying. So the young priest tells him, don't worry, I don't need it. It's okay, leave it. No, that's not the problem. Some idiot, while doing the cyclostyle, has done it wrong. It actually said celebrate life, but years of taking the photocopy or cyclostyle, it became lead a life of celibacy. We were actually supposed to celebrate. So always go back to the original. Don't ask Philip Cherian or the division director. You have a man, you have the club leadership program to go through. It gives answers to everything.
That's great. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah. But feel free to ask. I was just taking us.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you so much. And yeah, that was a very funny ending to a very complicated question. Thank you, Philip, sir. Any other questions?
I think I should not be begging for questions. I think they don't have a question.
That's a good, that is awesome, because as I said, the session was so interactive. So I think all of our questions were asked and answered. Thank you so much, Philip, sir, again. And
Nalini, I just want to mention, because each time you asked me to change, I agreed, because I don't have anything else to do. So you were telling that as if I did something great, because nowadays, even Bindu Pillai sends me a message saying that, can you do this? He doesn't even pick the phone and ask me. And I'm so desperate to speak, saying, yes, I'll do it. So don't worry.
Well, that is not true. That is not true. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your involvement. I see, he's prepared notes, he's prepared those slides. He might have taken it from Toastmasters International, but to know where to look, I think that is a skill that all of us need to cultivate too. Ask the right questions, know where to look, how to do the research. So thank you so much, Philip, sir, for your time.